Hi everybody, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of the ongoing anthology series campaign that I have been running for the Gauntlet for 2+ years called Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays, the idea is that every month of the year, sometimes a couple times within that month, I'll pick a different RPG system and then I offer it up to the Gauntlet community, which is this worldwide group of tabletop RPG aficionados, fanatics, and friends who we all get together and folks will RSVP and jump on and we create new characters. Sometimes we revisit characters from previous series, which is always a delight, new and old. I love the mixing of that. And then we tell a story together using that system in some corner of the Star Wars galaxy. I loosely have the movies as the backdrop, as the only thing that is incontrovertibly true. And by the movies, I mean the original trilogy. We're currently on the far side, not the Larson strips, but like on the other side of Palpatine having died in Return of the Jedi. We're not quite to where the Mandalorian series took place, which I believe is like a 5-year gap. I'm not exactly sure, and I don't really care, but like we're there. The New Republic is growing in fits and starts. Palpatine is dead. He fell down a shaft, guys. So, Star Wars canon, if you fall down a hole or into a monster's mouth, you're done. No expanded universe can save you. So the Empire is falling. There are places like Zinj's Empire, which is expanded universe, but don't worry about it. I just thought the guy looked cool. And Coruscant still is in the clutches of the Empire, as well as some other places. But I don't even want to tell you that because we're way down in the Minos cluster. Minos Cluster is something that was originally created in West End Games D6 Star Wars, and I love the supplement that talks about the Minos Cluster, so really that's why we're here. We're playing the game called Rust Hulks. This is the third of 3 sessions. I'm very sad that I only posted 3 sessions at this point because this game has been a hoot. Rust Hulks was originally created for more like our solar system in a sci-fi space trucker future. But I've hacked it for Star Wars because everything can be hacked to Star Wars. This is like our 30th different RPG system during Star Wars Saturdays, friends. It's true. Anything can be Star Wars if you find the right niche or place within the galaxy. We have the happy Smokey. Why do I keep wanting to say happy? Oh, that's right. There was a Happy Bantha Cantina on Coruscant once in a Hut Cartel game, and for some reason it like needled its way into my brain. But this is the Smoky Bantha, which is our Rust Hulk that everybody is on. And we've been doing some crazy hijinks. We have a returning player, as Jamie's able to join us. But before we go around the horn and do introductions, let me quickly talk over our safety tools. We have lines against sexual assault, sexual violence, and homophobia. It means that that's just content we're not interested in. We're not going to dance or dally around that. It just isn't part of the world of this story. We have veils, which means that if we are going to introduce this content, it's a thing that we don't want to shine a light on. We would fade to black, or do a Lucas-style star wipe very quickly if that content comes up. And the veils are on harm to animals, harm to children, martial law, and sexual content. Sexual content like, consensual sexual content, we fade to black. Maybe we hear some smoky jazz music. I don't know. Like a little saxophone. That's all we need, really. I am basically like, I'm foreshadowing a thing. Depool, pay attention. And then ask first. These are aspects of the story where if we're like, oh, I feel like I might introduce X or Y, or I might mention X or Y, it's where we as a group agree that we're going to ask first, right? So instead of just throwing it out there, you go, hey, I'm interested in this thing. Is everybody cool with it? And if anyone says, can we try it a different way? Then we do. No harm, no foul. It's there for all of our safeties. Everybody's got to be happy or nobody's happy. The ask first contents are torture, slavery, racism or speciesism, bullying, suicide, and betrayal. So all of those elements We have it on the lines and veils in our character keeper. I'll try to stay mindful of it, but really it's everybody at the table's job to make sure that we stay on point with this. So I'm counting on you just as you're counting on me. And then on top of that, we have the X card. If there's anything where you're like, whoa, I didn't know we were going to talk about that thing, but I'm super not into it, then all you have to do is generally say, hey, Rich, I need to X card a thing. And then we'll stop and I'll check in, make sure that what the thing is. And then we'll excise it from our play. And trust me when I tell you that I've never seen an X card played where it made the story worse in any way. I like having it as a tool, even if it's never used. It rarely is, but it can be used at any time. So that's all of our safety stuff. Thank you for letting me monologue for a bit. Let's go around the horn and introduce characters. I'm going to go from left to right on the character keeper because that's just the easiest way for me. So we'll start off with Cody. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Cody. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Dabul, an Athorian junker. He's in it for the scrap. He's a longtime partner of Aintina, our captain, and he's just along for the ride to help strip down space hulks and, I mean, space hulks too, rust hulks, and anything else they might come across, looking for perhaps wealth to send to his family, but otherwise just along for the ride.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cody. Jamie, welcome back. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Yeah, it's good to be back. So I'm Jamie, they, them pronouns. I'm playing Aintina, a Twi'lek jockey. They use she, they pronouns. Aintina grew up on Coruscant, joined the rebellion with their sister, came back without the sister. So basically, Ayn is just trying to outrun her past and try to make a new life out here in the wild corners of the galaxy.
Fantastic. And then, oh good, I got the message that I was muted, but I hit the button. It's so weird. Michael, welcome. Please tell us about yourself and your character.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Gorty the Hutt. He's a young, gallivanting hunt, just trying to kind of make his way in the galaxy, trying to find his place in all of this. He very much enjoys talking with people. He's a being. So yeah, and he's recently found himself in this bout of trouble. So we're going to see how he manages to handle that.
We shall. Stephen, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
My name is Stephen. I use he, him pronouns. Today I'm playing Celis de Host, or Celis. She uses he, she, her pronouns. And she is the runner playbook. She scrounges things and maybe steals things a little bit and, takes things and that kind of stuff. She's covered from head to toe with like scrounged together armor. So you can't see a lot about what her features look like other than through the slit. You can see a couple of lit up eyes. And I have some notes from the last time. We have her ex is on board, Arcee, and I took an advancement which outfits our what's the right word? Armory.
Oh, cool.
So it's like I've got some guns and stuff.
Okay, so the armory is outfitted. I guess it would be the trying to choose. The armory gets +1 size, or
so actually I have in my notes section, it's basically I have 2 magnums, 2 pistols, a sawn-off, a stunner, like different guns, and it's under my list. I also have 3 spacesuits, and these things no longer have the loud or messy tag, and everything has the no air tag.
Cool.
So.
And thank you for bringing that up, because I have on one of my 3 note cards, I have a little circle with an exclamation point. Says the roll the move to hide Arcee. So bolt holes. When you hide something or someone for later, roll plus size, and you'll get to do this. So let's have you do that. Your bolt holes size is a 1. So roll +1.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 5 + 1 is 6.
Okay. So I won't mention the 10 plus of the 7th, and I miss. Everyone knows it's there, and someone wants it. Let me just write down underneath that someone.
Can I say basically what happens is,
Sure.
I shove her real quick into the bolt hole and close it, and there's like a little piece of clothing hanging out between the two pieces. Yeah.
Like the person who's like, you see them pulled up at the stop sign and you look at their car, they've got their dresses hanging out or their jacket or something. Yeah, totally that. That's fantastic. So with that out of the way, our opening scene is in a dark corridor. And the first thing that we see is Aintina. But what is it that we see about Aintina that tells us that they are younger, maybe by a couple of years?
Yeah, I think they don't have the because like in the picture there's like sort of like these black cloth things around the tails. She's not wearing that. The outfit is like, you know, when you compare like Ahsoka from her first outfit to her second outfit.
Oh my gosh, like the crazy tube top to like something a person would wear? Yeah.
Yes. So I think like the outfit looks very, very different. It's
Okay.
not the scruffy smuggler outfit that she wears nowadays. It's more like clean and like.
Nice. And so we see Aintina and we see Blue Twi'lek with them. And Aintina, of course, we know that this is your sister, Rasara. The two of you move along this corridor and then look out and you see this huge cavernous hole, and everything is metallic. You're in the bowels of Coruscant, you know, the city that you escaped from. And the point where that huge shaft is, you can see actually little bits of daylight trickling down 1,300 levels. So dim, and you can see all the motes of rust and the like as ships are slowly rising up and others coming down. And your sister Rasara, she looks at you and she simply, because, sorry, I love this bit of canon and I'm fucking owning it. So, because the Twi'lek for many decades were a slave race, they have developed with their brain tails called Leku a type of sign language that they never bothered to tell any of the Empire about, but it's a way that they can silently communicate to each other. And so we have Rasara, and she very subtly uses the Leku and asks, "Are you ready?"
And I sign back, born ready.
Sweet. And Rasara smiles, and then the two of you run and you jump out into space and you land on top of a freighter that's slowly raising up, and you quickly kind of bend down and kind of like the person that's like hiding on top of a truck that's heading down the highway trying to avoid the police. And as it slips up, you see that there are a number of stormtroopers that come down that corridor, and they start looking around with their blasters. And then we cut to Ein waking up sweat-soaked in your bed, in your bunk. You've been deliriously going through flashbacks. You've had the space flu. It's some weird strain. You're not sure where you picked it up. It's knocked you out and sent you into fever dreams. We ended the last session with you walking out of the bunk. The ship is moving. The Smoky Bantha is moving quickly. Like the first thing that happened was that started to wake you up is that there was this huge jerk, and your grav bed kind of slung a little bit and against the hull. It was enough to wake you up. And so you stagger out, and the first thing that you see, and if you're looking at the map of the Smoky Bantha to kind of remember the placement of your bunk, you can see out from your bunk into, you can't exactly see the helm without walking around the corner, but you can see the main cargo area. And there, imagine if someone had a number of crates of bolt mechanical parts, Watsits and the like, and they just opened them up and then shook them all around. Like, You ever seen where a kid gets all their Lego parts out and just like dumps it because they're gonna make a thing, and then they get bored and walk away? That's kind of what's happened to the main cargo area of the Smoky Bantha. As you glance across, you see that Celis is climbing up into the turret, the gun turret of the Smoky Bantha, and you also happen to spot that one of Celis's bolt holes has just like a little bit of fabric, like someone's hiding out in there. And the light that's supposed to indicate that that's secure is like kind of flickering a little bit. So yeah, you don't see Gorty anywhere, nor do you see Daboul. The ship might be on autopilot, or maybe Celis just jams something in there to keep the stick going forward. You think you're in Atmo. What do you do?
First, I reach for the hidden hip flask that I have strapped to my thigh. It has like an emergency, like hangover, space flu. It tastes awful. I haven't upped it in like months. I take a swig, bleh, I spit it out, and I scream, "Daboul! Where, what?" And then I move towards, what is this? Towards the bolt hole. And I'm like, is someone in here? And I start to like yank it open while I'm screaming for Daboul.
You pop it open and you immediately see. So let me ask you, Ein, do you know Celis's ex, Arcee, as Celis's ex, or do you know this Twi'lek?
It's a Twi'lek.
Yeah, of course.
Is there a type I have to worry about? Anyway, yeah.
So, Arcee has a blaster on you. The moment you open, the door opens up, and Arcee has this little blaster on you, and she looks at you for a second, and you see this subtle echo of like friend or foe, friend or foe.
And I look at the gun. I look at Arcee. I see that your fashion sense hasn't gotten any better since I last saw you.
Nice to see you too. I thought you were dead.
For a second, I did too. I'm not. It was just a flu. I'm good. What are you doing in my ship?
I thought this was Celis's ship now, but Celis gave me a ride. She took a job to get me off planet.
Wait. No, there was a distress signal, and no, wait. Celis's ship? Celis! Like I start screaming.
And I think my head pops down from where the turret is. It's like, Ein, it's glad to see you up and about. We could use some help. Well, I could use some help.
I look at Arcee and I look at Celis back and forth.
Oh, you notice that there is a speeder bike here. It's crashed. Like someone drove it into the hull but didn't put on the brakes.
Okay, so here's the story. We left the bull up in orbit. He was trying to make some repairs, and we'll go back and pick him up now. Gordy fell out of the ship, and we need to pick him up. So I would go to the helm and see if we can't find Gordy.
No. I'm going to the helm. I am going. No, I'll. God damn it. And I'm not even going to. I just like throw this look at Arcee, and just don't touch anything. Just you can sit, but don't
touch anything here. It's all a mess.
Well, it doesn't usually look like this, I say as I try to glare towards Celis, but I can't manage it. And I just like stalk off to the helm. I also realize I didn't get to roll my getaway driver move. Is it okay if I roll it now?
Well, you know what's interesting as a getaway driver move is you probably need to get away. So at the start of a job, roll plus gut. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, that's hold you get to keep. Gotcha. Oh, awesome. Because it turns out that you'll probably need it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So let's just see how it goes. So going to roll 2. Oh, that's good. That is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus.
What? This game isn't supposed to roll 11s. I'm setting the 9s all the time. Okay, sweet. So on a 10 plus, you hold 2. At any point during the job while you're on the ship, you can spend your hold to have the ship where it needs to be ready to go. Nice.
Yeah, but that I'm just holding it for now. Yeah.
Sure. That's really cool. You head up to the helm, and you see there's a little blinking light of someone reaching out to you from comms.
Hello? Like I pressed the wrong button for a second. Okay. And I touch the golden dice that are up on top. Give me strength. Okay. And then I touch the right button. Hello?
Sweet. So let's cut to Gorty. Gorty, if you remember, you were on your little floating palanquin, having fallen out of the Smoky Bantha onto this gorgeous, placid lake. There is a modified snow speeder, a New Republic speeder, where the pilot, pilot 4356, was talking over a loudspeaker to you, asking if you wanted him to ferry you, because it's like a mile to any point, the edge of the lake. You've snowed him that you aren't involved with the very desperate and dangerous criminal he was chasing, who somehow just disappeared. And then he offered, do you want me to ferry you to the side of the lake?
Oh, please. I don't know how much longer my thrusters will hold out, and I hate getting wet. Oh.
So the snow speeder just kind of lowers down to the surface of the lake, and you're able to take your little thing, because it hovers, right? So you can like hover up onto the wing, and you see that there's a little R2 unit that looks at you and burbles something in BASIC that's pretty insulting. It's generally like, oh, we take all kinds now, it seems, because you're a HUD, and it doesn't like you.
How rude.
Is that what? Let me check in. Is that cool with everybody? I just realized that I just did some speciesism. Is that it's HUD? Like, so we're okay. All right.
Is this pilot going to let me into the cabin?
He is. Yeah, I mean, if you're small, if you imagine that you're small enough to fit into like the co-pilot part of a snow speeder, then yeah, he would do that.
So I have a question. I know in Star Wars we have blasters that can be set to stun.
Absolutely.
Is that a mechanic that we can work in with the way that harm works in this game?
Sure.
Okay.
I think it's just a general thing of like, get the drop on somebody, and chances are you're gonna take them out instead of have to swap a bunch of damage back and forth. I'm okay with that.
So I have this move that basically it's called false surrender that lets me do that.
Nice.
You tell me if you want me to roll. But I think once I get in the cabin, I'll just say, "Oh, thank you. It's been such a crazy day. So much happening," and I'm just like sort of reaching underneath like one of my arm flaps or something to pull out a little holdout pistol, and I want to.
Yeah, he glances back at you, but then he just like, yeah, just get in. I'll take you to a port, and you can secure a flight to get yourself either back on that bucket of bolts or whatever. And then boom, you drop it. You get the drop on him. Let's have you go ahead and roll plus face to get into a fight here. This is delightful.
Only to stun. 11. Okay.
What?
Yes. We're switching things up this session.
Oh man, this is weird. I feel uncomfortable with all these high rolls. I don't have to think as hard. Stuff just happens. Okay. 10 plus, you inflict harm on them. So bam, you hear the astromech go, "Wow!" it's trying to call a warning, and he looks back and we see the concentric circles come out, and you stun the pilot. Boom, falls down. His cool New Republic emblazoned helmet clunks on the front console, and the ship just kind of leans a little bit and dips the wing into the surface of the water. But you can lean forward with the cool hut arms and straighten it up. What do you do now?
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling to get into like a pilotable position with my little arms, and like the cockpit is probably not designed for two people, much less like
it's not built for slugs. No.
Exactly. So I'm like sort of now sitting in the lap of this like unconscious like pilot, and trying to operate. I'm not really a pilot, but I hopefully I get the basics, and I'm trying to reach the Smoky Bantha on the comms.
Sweet. So you hear hello from Tina, Gorty.
Oh, Ein, so lovely to hear from you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like shit. Where are you? Sella said you were in orbit. What? I have a headache.
Oh, so, I'm very much nearby. Don't worry. Daboul is in orbit, but that's nothing.
Wait, what? What about Daboul? What? What?
Listen, you have to understand. I have requisitioned a snowspeeder here, and I'm just outside of the ship. If there's any way that we could make a connection, that would be lovely.
Yeah. We'll be. I'll be right there. Where we need to get Daboul, of course. And then I think I turn off the communication, but I haven't yet. And I say to myself, of course, Gertie's okay, but Daboul isn't. Like.
Nice. And we cut from there, like a hard cut. And the first thing we hear is like some like soft jazz saxophone. And we come up and we can see like the ceiling. And then there's just this like little bit of smoke that trails through. Luckily, it's not smoke from something burning. And it is Daboul and Ronil. The two of you finished up the repairs on the claw.
We sure have.
And you've made some repairs of another kind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Some healing.
Spiritual repairs, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have like this hookah that's sat between the two of you guys. You guys are covered mostly by blankets, and she takes it, and you see that Renea like sucks on one of her mouths, and then the smoke comes out the other mouth.
Perfect. Yes. I'm doing the same, of course, out of the other side of my Thorian double throat.
Nice. By the way, Jamie, Brynil is also an Thorian female engineer. So just FYI there. All right, cool. So, sorry. Yeah, I guess it would be jazz music, right? But anyway. All right, so
canonically called Jizz in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, for some reason I mispronounce it every time so that I don't giggle like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, Daboul, I think, is just he's relaxing. He got left behind, and they'll come back from him eventually. So there's no point worrying about that. He's just fully enjoying himself.
She says, I have full medical coverage here on the Claw. Working for the New Republic government's boring, but stable.
You don't say. That's that kind of coverage can get you far. I mean, you see that on the Smoky Bantha, of course, he costs some more. We don't really have so many benefits, but we take care of ourselves. Well, I would normally say that, but as you see, I have been left behind by my crew, no doubt to further their own aims. I'm sure they're off on some great adventure just now. Hopefully they haven't forgot old poor Daboul. But the New Republic, you say, how'd you get in with them?
Oh, you are unforgettable, Daboul. Mort. And then she will start to tell the story of how she signed up with the New Republic, that she'd been working on various, fly-by-night operations. I even did a term on a junk planet, but Raxus is really not a place where anyone who's sane would work for long.
Oh, no doubt. I hear tell of that. It's plentiful in scrap, but not a good place to raise a family, as it were.
Ooh. Her eyes kind of swivel over to look at yours.
His eyes swivel over.
Ooh, nice! So, who interrupts the bull's moment by reaching out on the comms? Is that Gorty or Ein or Celis?
I don't think I have the subspace communication
Fair
ability.
enough.
Celis, do you think you would, or should I interrupt at the worst possible moment?
So I think that Celis knows a little bit about what's going on. I think it'd be better if you made sure that Gorty was okay, or Dabul was okay.
So I'm desperately trying to find the and it comes through crackling. Dabul, are you okay? Things are shit. Hello.
Hold on, my dear. I must take this, I think. I scramble through my
Dear,
belongings in my
who are you
spacesuit.
talking to? Hello? Hello?
Hold on, I didn't mean to turn this up. Anne, is that you? Anne, are you with us again, darling?
Who are you talking? They said you were in orbit. Are you okay?
Well, I'm okay now. I'm no longer.
Is that jizz music?
Yeah, that is. That is the modal nodes. I'm glad your ear picked it up. You've always had a distinguished ear, Ein. I've always said that about you.
Oh no, you're flattering me. What happened? What's going on?
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. I swear. They left me. Celis and Gordy. We while you were indisposed, we took over. We decided to run a little bit of work ourselves. And as you can imagine, without a strong leading lady such as yourself, we kind of fell apart. And
oh my God, have you sold your body? Is that why I can hear the music?
No. Well, if the price was something a little bit meaningful.
Look, we tried that one time and it didn't. Look, no, where are you? I'll go pick you up.
I'm aboard the Claw. Ask Celis and Gordy. They'll tell you about it. They crashed the ship a little bit. I had to stay behind to fix the ship a little bit. And well, it's just the ding dangest thing. I met another Athorian out here fixing their ship, and well, the galaxy I see in her eyes is. Anyways, I'm with them, and you can go ahead and I'll be awaiting further instruction.
Oh my! And then like I drops and then they're like talking to themselves. Like their hands are like in their around their head, and they're like, Celis's ex is here. Dabul has found love. I'm so upset.
Nice.
Sorry, my sweet. That was my boss.
Oh, still your boss, I see. Are you going back to the Bantha?
Well, I have a man of the word. I'm an Athorian of his word, and I do have some obligations yet to finish.
Well, once you are finished with your obligations, perhaps you could reach out to me again.
I would love that. Now, if you excuse me, I should be suiting up in case, if it's anything like every other time I've seen the Smoky Bantha, they'll be coming in quite hot.
I imagine you in very many hot positions.
Well, all right, and then cut to black again.
Yep. Nice. So, just as an update to Ein, now that you're getting your bearings, you are currently at the planet you were supposed to go on Eliad. The place you were headed to, you're here. Evidently, Celis took on an extra job of rescuing Arcee, who's wanted by the New Republic for various crimes, as well as Gorty was able to get a job, regular cargo job, which you guys can take care of because you kind of like did the Arcee thing first. So we'll just kind of like get the group together. So I'm imagining that the Bantha heads out into geosynchronous orbit where the Claw, which is a New Republic freighter, freelance, but working for the authority here in the Minos cluster. and you see that they've done a patch job on one of the wings of this large freighter, and Dabul will connect up and giving fond farewell to Ranil, the Ithorian engineer here on this ship. Dabul will rejoin the Bantha. Here are the things that you guys still need to do. You still have cargo, which you should probably pick up off the floor and deliver. You also have your primary job, the one that you were offered a whole lot of credits by a major corporation. And if you blow that job off, you'll get in a lot of trouble. That was for the Corazon Industries Corporation. Jinsi Vuk 2 had hired you all to go to Eliad to locate a particular G9 rigger class light freighter where some of the minor nobles who were exiled on Eliad were heading, like they had effectively hired this freighter to take them back to the core worlds, and they were going to skip out on the debt that they had to Corazon Industries. You guys are supposed to make sure that they don't leave the planet. Don't kill them. Just don't let them leave the planet, because then they can effectively kind of, through the intricacies of the weird contract that they signed, they may be able to extricate themselves from the debt that is owed. Those are the two things that need to be done to complete your two contracts. And you guys all meet back up together. You do know that the New Republic is not going to give up that easily on hunting for not only Arcee, but also a particular young Hutt who evidently shot a New Republic, or stunned, didn't kill, stunned a New Republic pilot on the surface of Eliad.
And I think I made the possibly unwise decision of leaving a little business card in the cockpit.
Yeah, nice.
And I wrote on there, my apologies for the inconvenience. Hopefully I will be able to repay you. I owe you.
So the crew is together again. I've just given you kind of the exposition to bring everybody up to speed. What is it, Celis? What is the Celis's up to right now?
So I think Celis kind of swaggers out a little bit and looks around at, the mess, and turns to Anne and says, we got 2 jobs. I think we're going to be doing pretty well. We've already finished one of them. Now we just need to deliver this stuff for the Tordarian.
And that's where Arcee jumps in and says, "You haven't finished that job. I'm not safely off this planet yet. We're in orbit over Eliad, and until you guys get me to some place where I can get on an actual clean, functional ship and get the Kark out of here, this job isn't done."
Oh, we took on another crew member. I see you leave me in space and we pick up another. All right, well, Smoke and Bantha, the more the merrier, always a party.
Some
We
people
can't
just
all
have
find
no
our soulmates.
taste. So I'm like chewing on like a rat or whatever.
Oh no, like one of those like space rat types.
Little womp rat. Nice.
Yeah, there you go. And I just tries to breathe. Okay, I still have a headache. It's okay. I only see 2 of each of you sometimes. That's fine. Okay, let's focus on the job here. We need to find that ship. We need to make sure it's out of commission. Then we can leave, drop off the cargo, drop off. And then I just sort of like gesture towards Arcee. That, and we're in the clear, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a
Captain.
plan.
Right. It sounds so simple. Did you really have to leave a business card, Gordy?
I just, it just seems like the sort of people that we wouldn't want on our bad side. So I thought a bit of diplomacy might come into play.
What part of diplomacy is stunning someone?
A temporary setback. I'm sure they've stunned tons of people in their career.
Oh, no doubt, and no doubt, blasted many more who commit crimes. As it sounds as if you have, my dear Gordy.
I was the one who brought on the totally legitimate operation of this lovely cargo shipment here. I was forced into circumstances outside of my control. What, to be fair, were rather lucrative. And I'll, give Celis a high tendril or whatever.
All right. Okay. Let's just do what we can. Let's find a place to land, and RC, just we'll be back soon.
I am not leaving this ship. You can go do whatever cockamamie job, but I'm not going out there. I'm wanted on Eliad. This place has bolt holes. I don't like Celis, but I know she wouldn't sell me out.
Indeed, and Celis, how far do you trust this one not to run off with the Smoky Bantha when we all had wandering out?
Oh, please.
Oh, please yourself.
If I'm going to steal a ship, it is certainly not this one.
I think you'd be damn lucky to steal a ship as fine as the Bantha, and you best respect that we are taking you. Celis, you talk to her. And Double storms off.
I think Celis will walk her over to the bolt hole and say, it's probably best if you stay in here, and we'll hide you. And when she goes in, closes the door and takes like the handle off or takes like the piece off. I was like, there you go. And he hands it over to Gordy or to Dabul and says,
Good call.
She's not coming anywhere without this, right?
Celis, you have such a way with problem solving. And Dabul tosses and catches the handle and walks off.
We were so dreadfully concerned about your condition, and we tried so hard that in your absence we would manage this ship effectively and seek employment and acquire fuel and resources. And all I have to say is you're welcome.
And about that time, there's this
Accomplished.
big clang noise as Celis is picking up debris and putting it back inside the crate to deliver.
I think Ina at this point just gives out this huge groan and just gets up to get ready for the job.
Oh, I think the flu is still interfering with her. We'll have to make sure that she gets plenty of rest. Let's wrap things up and show her the itemized receipt. That'll surely cheer them up.
So let's, assuming that you guys are going to deal with handing off that cargo run, let's engage with the get paid move for that. When you finally finish the job or are coming in to get paid by your employer, roll plus gut. Guess who's the captain? Fine. Two.
Okay, so let's see. All right, rolling. Dun, dun. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so that's pretty fantastic. On an 11, both are true. You get, sorry. On an 11, you choose 2 of the 3 options. Do you have that in the basic moves? I can drop it in the chat. Okay.
No, I see it. Yeah, so I'm going to choose definitely paid in full as agreed. I don't want them to screw us. Like, we have enough on, so the one that won't get chosen is no one will hear about this job.
And that makes a lot of sense. Just to mention, this is this is cargo that we picked up from the Tordarian that I think at the end of the first session was starting to be boarded, and basically we alerted the New Republic, grabbed some scrap, and headed out right as they arrived with the other pirates there. So that's probably why they knew, right?
Yep. So you guys end up going to the spaceport on Eliad and drop this off with the corporation that that Glum had worked for. That they were so excited with their first real job, taking them off of planet, and then they were waylaid by the Untagunta and nearly killed. You guys still have a Gonk droid on the ship now, a power droid, but 3TW and Glomgum are now, like, they're dropped off safely and they're good to go. I believe you guys, Sesharite was where you had left Glomgum. But you finished the run, and while as they're scanning everything in, like the readout is all of the parts are here, but they're all in different places in the crates. But you effectively get paid. There are people who will hear about this, of course, but the payment is in full. So that was 8 credits. You'd burn through some of those to make your jump, half of that. So you guys end up with 4 credits. So good work. I'm not sure where we're storing credits. There we are. So you now have 8 credits, unless someone had already upped the credits to 4. So right, so you're at 8 credits. Man, so much money, guys. So good.
Spent a bit of my advance on a jaunty hat. Ein, how did it go?
It went well. They didn't ask too many questions. It was fine. The hat looks interesting.
Oh, such an interesting choice of words. Interesting.
Yes. It's hard to not come up with other shorter words, but interesting is a good one. Interesting, yeah.
Well, at least I've piqued your interest. Now, it's simply a matter of tying up a few other loose ends, and we'll be heading off, right?
Yeah. Why? Should I be worried about something? Did you do something while I wasn't looking?
Well, it's nothing like that. It's just a matter of, are you mad?
What?
Are you disappointed, angry?
I'm confused. No, I'm not. You know what? Everyone is fine. The bull is in one piece. Celus's ex is far away. You're here with your hat. We're all together. No one's dead. I'm fine.
Indeed, no one died. Would you go so far as to say that you're proud?
I'm like, is the bull somewhere nearby while this conversation is happening? I think like I will look to the side. I'm proud that the ship is in one piece. Yes.
Oh, mother and father will be so pleased to hear about this. I can't wait to send them another holo recording. All right, well, back to business then.
Right. Good job, Gertie. Yes.
Good job. Oh, praise from the captain.
All right. Let's get to work. Okay, it's over. This moment's over.
Just humming a bit of like jazz music as we go.
I love the idea that Gertie could be 100% on board, like above board about, I just want to know if you thought I did a good job. But because Gertie is so suspicious sounding, when he's talking about these things, it's like, oh, we can't trust him. He's definitely has something happened.
I love that too. As Ein is off, they're taking care of getting you guys paid and the cargo delivery, and I imagine Dabul went with Celis. You're asked to stay behind because of a certain passenger, and you get a little tink on your comm unit. It's RC reaching out to you to talk.
Oh yeah. So I think I open up the comms and I say, hey, sorry about that back there, but you understand, we had to make sure that there wasn't any kind of mutiny that went on.
I haven't started a mutiny in years. I don't know why you don't trust me.
I don't think trust was a part of it. I think it was just opportunity.
So you're with this captain now?
Yeah, for now. I mean, it pays.
I knew it. She's jealous.
Well, she can be as jealous as she wants as long as I get paid.
It's interesting that you hid who you were, but you came to save me.
Well, just between you and me, I thought about it more. I thought about not doing it, but it was the credits that you offered that called us in.
Wow. You're still a bad liar. It's been so long since we've been together. I've kind of forgotten how funny you are. This is what you do now. You work on this piece of voodoo ship.
Hey,
We
that's
used
my
to
home
do-
you're talking about.
Okay, it's your home, sure. We used to do worthwhile, really interesting jobs. What do you do here? Haul nuts and bolts?
Well, that's all you need to know about. There's other things that might be a little bit more exciting. What exactly are you getting at?
Just seems like he's sold out. Traded down something easy instead of something challenging and fun.
Even if I did, it has nothing to do with you. What are you doing now? Running away all the time? Like you always have?
Listen, the reason I ran away is that I was being chased. You didn't chase me.
Well, yeah. True. You got me there.
Oh, that's a real good end of scene right there. That sounds good. I think you're interrupted by everyone coming back on board with many credits and Gorty fashioning very jaunty hat and murmuring about making a holocall home because that's just the best. I just love the idea of a pair of Hut parents. Oh, look, darling. Another missive from Gorty. Oh, yes, I had 30 minutes I needed to kill anyway. Turn on the holoprojector, please. So.
That's a new hat.
Yes, indeed. All right, cool. So you guys all get some creds. You just have that one little job that you really, really shouldn't blow off left. But that one's easy, right? All right. What do you want to do? Any prep or anything else you guys wanted to work on? before you head to the area, the starport where this G9 rigger is supposed to be located.
So, do we have a plan about what we're going to do here?
That's my question. That's a great
What do you guys
question.
think?
The idea, so the job is to basically extort these nobles, right?
I think it's we have to good question. I think it's we have to disable their ship so that people can get to them before they leave.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I had an idea. Right now, we're pretty well wanted, right? We're known for abetting a criminal, escape and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I wonder how that all happened. Yeah.
How about we take the transponder off of our ship and swap it with the transponder from their ship that they're going to try and get away with, and then let the authorities know. So
Now, there's
basically,
an
they
idea.
would keep us from, the authorities would keep them from taking off, and we get a clean registry, sort of.
2 Minox, 1 blaster bolt. I like the way you think, Celis.
And yeah, I think Ian is just going to, well, if the bull can pull it off, then I'm all for it.
Sweet. So,
One
yes.
other thing, fellows, as we prepare, we've managed to acquire somewhat of a reputation around this time of being merciless marauders, one might say, certainly criminals of an intimidating sort.
What all happened when I was in space?
Well, I would request for you to sort of embrace this new brand. Momentarily, when we pull off Celis's bit of subterfuge, then we can wash our hands clean of this whole ordeal and go back to being perfectly legitimate business beings. But in the meantime, what if we were to use our status as wanted criminals to, I don't know, intimidate, I suppose, this nobility? They're probably in a very wealthy position at this time. And, our employers didn't say anything about skimming off of the top, so to speak. They probably have funds in escrow off in some galactic bank somewhere, but who's to say that they're not carrying some fine jewelry, some well-regarded vestments, perhaps a rare cask of ale in storage? And I kind of tip my hat a bit and say, what if we just have a play at being pirates? Just for fun.
Gen C, if this gets back to Gen C in some way, it's not going to look good. But look, if you want to play pirates for your parents, you could do that, and I will look the other way. You can play a little bit if you want, but I'm not going to get dragged into it.
They have been pushing me to take a bit more initiative in the family business. But, well, I would have no intention of breaking our contract with Jency, of course not. A valuable ally, indeed. I merely say we work around the edges of the contract and do what we can to recoup some of our losses.
Yeah, the fuel's
the
been real
transponder.
expensive.
Indeed. And, my fine mahogany desk was cracked in a recent scrap, so it would be lovely to replenish some of my furnishings with something a bit more upper class.
Right. Well, I'm not going to cry over rich people missing something, so I guess.
Hooray! Costumes, everyone, let's go. All right. Celis, I'm seeing tassels. What do you think?
On me?
So we cut scene to the four of you working through the starport, heading towards this G9 rigger freighter. And you've got, I assume you have some blasters, some stuff to make you look intimidating and piratical.
I like Gorty's idea of costumes. Can I wear like stormtrooper armor or something like that? No, this is New Republic. That
Yeah,
would be bad.
sorry. New
Okay.
Republic, that would be bad. But
Yeah. Okay.
But maybe armor that looks like it's repurposed stormtrooper armor. Maybe it looks like your ex Imperial.
Right. Yeah. Maybe the orange shoulder
Pauldron,
pad. Yeah, pauldron.
So when the four of you come to the landing pad, and I'm going to kind of borrow from a little bit of, as we know, original trilogy, like it's a circular area where you can just kind of take off straight up. It's open to the sky. It's not dusty or sandy here on Eliad. It's actually, there's a lot of desert on Eliad. The spaceport is in a nice semi-temperate area because where the nobles wanted to settle themselves. But as you guys are coming in, kind of watching, you see that the ship is there. The gangplank is down. There are a few pretty obviously nobles from their dress as they're chatting with a pretty rough-looking human. Looks like he's been in some scraps. He's probably the muscle of the team. He's got a big gun, and he doesn't have it out, right? He has it kind of slung over his back. He's a Ratataki, which they're the kind of gray skin with these weird skin facial markings. They're from a very brutal planet. But you notice that up on the top of the G9, performing some repairs with like a hydro spanner is well, because they have like that welder's mask, they're doing a little spot welding and they've got a hydro spanner there. Do you see their Leku? So you notice that it's a Twi'lek. And then the Ratataki says something, calls out a name that you don't recognize, but then they pull back the mask and it's your sister. And we'll take our break here. So it's 13 after. It's 13 after. Let's take 7-ish minutes. So 20 after, we will meet back up again and see what we do there. So see you guys in a few. Jimmy, I put the name that you heard Rasara called by the Ratatak in
Okay.
the NPCs tab.
Nice.
Man, we haven't had any scenes with Ditch showing up. This whole game, I've really fallen off. That's poor loft cat representation by me in game 3.
Well, to be fair, in game 2, had you brought Ditch in, it would have been probably disastrous because there were so many failed rolls. It would have been Ditch showing up at the wrong time.
I mean, this could have been part of the reason things went worse if I'd been clever.
But
not Ditch getting hurt. We have a line against that.
Deep in your heart, Ditch would never do that to us. Ditch.
I mean, love cat.
I was actually thinking earlier about, whenever I put RC in the bolt hole, it was like, oh, open it back up, toss in Ditch, and close it again. You need some company. Yeah.
And I for some reason in my head canon, RC has like a data pad, and she's basically just playing like Candy Crush, the Star Wars version of Candy Crush, just to pass the time. Some kind of weird tap match 3 deal or something.
Is it what is the Star Wars Candy Crush called? Is it Jawa Jam? Is it?
Oh man, that's pretty good.
Is it Candy Crush? There's got to be what's a creature in Alien that starts with an S?
Yeah, I don't know.
All I can think of is Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
What kind of monkey? What's that?
It's a Kowakian monkey lizard.
Yeah, monkey lizard. Cody beat me to that one because Cody's awesome.
Sometimes. All right.
Most times. What is it about your sister that just from a look you can tell that being here, that whatever happened before when you thought you had lost her, that it cost her something? Is she missing something? Has something been replaced? Something added? What is it that you immediately notice is different about your sister? What is she lost?
Yeah. I noticed 2 things. The first is she has, that little robot friend from that latest Jedi game.
Oh yeah, like, the Fallen Order.
Yeah, there you go, Fallen Order. And so she has a similar droid that gets up behind her and is helping. And that's when I noticed that she puts up her arm and the droid comes down and starts helping fix, and her entire arm is cybernetic.
Left or right?
I'd say like left.
Is it one of those like obvious cybernetics then? Or yeah, okay.
Yeah, because like it's not too fancy, right?
It's crude. Like it gets the job done, but it's pretty darn obvious. Awesome. So your sister, who the Ratatak had called Nimaoli, which in Twi'lek means hidden desert flower. It's kind of totally a fake name that anyone not Twi'lek would, any non-Twi'lek would be like, oh, how nice. But being Twi'lek, you're like, what? Like John Smith, really? Like you went with John Smith? Fine, you're John Smith now. Anyway. So you catch that line as you guys are about to like go into full piratical mode. What do you do?
I separate from the group a little bit, just like a few steps, and I start singing a song that I used to sing to her to help her sleep when we were younger, when I was taking care of her, to see if she's going to respond.
So Celis Gorty Daboul pulls up short and starts to hum some like little. Was it a work song? It was something to help her to get to sleep. So it was like a lullaby, right? This soft little, not at all harsh pirate sounding song. Do you guys?
Daboul stops, slows, notices that she stops, kind of waits for a second, And as she begins singing, after a little bit, he'll start using his Athorian throats to put down like a nice melody below. Just
nice. You got a little throat singing.
He's like, I guess we'll sing. Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing now. Is this part of the cover? I don't know. All right.
He's just playing along. It's the captain. This is great. That's great. So I imagine Corty's reaction is like, wow, we just started a duet. Sure enough, Rosara looks up. Could she see you if she looks up from the top of the ship?
Yeah, I think because like we're still mostly like, I'm not hiding my face, but
Right.
I look straight at her, but my heart is in my throat, like I'm trying to really not. If this was Hearts of Wooland, I would be doing inner conflict right now, right?
Of course,
like
of
I'm
course.
just trying to keep my cool.
Her mouth drops open with complete surprise, and then she just drops the welding stuff and the Hydra spanner on the top and scrambles over the top of the G9 to get onto the ladder, kind of the handhold effectively, scampers down, and the Ratatak looks at her like he has never seen her act quite like this, and she runs across the landing area straight at you, Valentina. Arms outstretched, like she's just going to throw her, like, I don't know if we still use the term glomping, like a run hug, tackle hug thing.
Wow, glomping takes me back, but yeah, for
So
sure.
I think Celis actually is separated from the group. The three of them walked in, but Celis has like a sniper rifle and is along the side and is kind of sighting down.
It's a great distraction for you to kill all of them. Yeah. It's good one, Celis.
And basically, I think we see, the end of the sniper rifle move to Rosara, and Celis helped Rosara and Ein leave, right?
Nice.
So
So
recognizes it, and then she's like, back to the guard. Right?
Back to the Ratatak. Nice. And
yeah, and I'm trying hard to like I'm trying to tell her like, no, don't draw attention to, but I'm also starting to run a little bit, and I just whisper to Duboul, slight change of plan. We need to, Duboul, it's my sister.
Well, when you were the captain, you make the rules.
Hands up, scum!
Oh, go to Malgordy.
That's the best. I think Rosara like stutter steps when Gordy yells out "hands up, scum," and she starts to fall, but she's close enough on where you could catch her if you.
Yeah. No, I'm going
have
to
to grab hold of that arm, the left arm.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I grab it and I go, no, don't listen to the goddamn hut.
We'll be taking command of this here vessel.
Love
Gordy,
it.
Rosara, we have a plan. What are you doing here?
And that's when the Ratatak is like all on. He's not sure what's happening, but he's reaching for his rifle. He's pulling that out. Things are about to go down.
So,
Celis, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm going to check in beforehand. Is this the plan? Is it okay if would take out this guard?
It seems to be the plan
right?
now.
It's a backup plan. Yeah.
So I think he's reaching for his
actually,
gun. And
I think like I talked to you that if Gordy pulls the trigger and gets overexcited, this is the backup plan.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna pull down on him.
I think Gordy would have suggested non-lethal pirate methods if that's something the sniper rifle can do.
I don't think they're stun at a distance. Yeah, no. I think if you fire on somebody with a sniper rifle, you are shooting to kill.
Yeah, you
just
can
want to make sure we
to-
know the stakes, right? Like,
you know.
you shoot this guy, he's a Ratataki. It's on. At least
I like
once.
I like the idea that Gordy says we should use a non-lethal sniper rifle, and Celis just kind of nods. Sure.
Mhm.
Is there such a
Fires rubber
thing
bands.
Would a warning shot be feasible, or is that not within Celis's wheelhouse?
It's up to Celis at this point, I think. You've trusted your sniper,
Yeah.
the sneakiest person on the whole ship.
Yeah, let me pull the trigger. Let me roll the dice and see what they say.
Let me pull the trigger.
Yeah. So what kind of is there a move for this?
I mean, there's getting a fight, which is the idea of 7 to 9 you inflict harm on each other. Yeah, I could totally see a Ratataki who's drawing out his blaster rifle, snapping off a shot on a 7 to 9 and him firing back. But yeah, I think getting a fight's probably the best.
There's also threaten someone. So if I wanted this to be
That's
a
true.
warning shot, I could do threaten someone.
You could. You get to roll plus face instead of.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna aim with that sniper rifle at the hilt, the stock of the weapon he's reaching back for, and roll a threaten someone to get him to stop, and then let Gorty try and address things. Okay, I rolled a 7. My face is 1, so that's an 8.
Okay, on threaten someone on a 7 to 9, the target chooses one. They'll do what you want, but with some conditions. They'll do what you want, but fight and kick and scream. They'll run and protect themselves from your threat. Okay, cool. So Gorty lays down his heavily accented threat. Celis backs Gorty up by firing a warning shot right near the Ratataki, and he stops. Like he's pulled out his blaster rifle. It's in one hand, but he hasn't dropped it down or where he can't pull the trigger. And he looks around and he's reaching for the pair of like noble passengers, kind of get them behind him, like get thee behind me, I'm protecting you kind of deal. As he looks up, he scans and he looks right at you. You can't meet your eyes, Celis, because of your cool, wicked helmet and stuff, but he's marked you. And at this point, he is not going to go throw down because his backup is just Hug fell into another Twi'lek, and you guys kind of have the drop on him. So it appears that he is choosing to do what you want, but he hasn't stated any conditions. He's just like, I'm backing off right now, but I'm ready to escalate to violence if that was more than just a warning shot, to be emphatic. And we cut to Rosaris. I can't believe you. We got separated, and I woke up and
I thought you were. If I knew you were alive, I would have been looking for you. I'm so sorry.
I didn't know you left me. I thought you were dead. I thought you and Celis were both dead.
I thought you were. No, Celis. That was Celis just now. No, it was. We barely survived.
Don't kill Vossel. He's good. He's a good guy.
You mean
kind of my boyfriend?
You're what? Is everyone? God damn it! And like I stop and I give like, so Celis and I sort of like a hand signal, where I communicate like
it's carked. No,
as you can see, we have taken a captive.
Well, I think
done,
Celis,
first mate.
and we see Celis just kind of shake her head.
Rosara, we're here to. We just need to switch out something where we won't be long. The smoother that this goes, we can make it look good. Like we can make it look like you and your
You're working for a
boyfriend.
hut?
No. Oh my, no, he's working for me. I'm the boss. I'm the captain.
Some would say Gordy works for Gordy's self.
Well,
Hello, my name is Daboul. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Heard much about you.
Yes, this is the same one. I say, like, pointing at Daboul.
Nima Oli, she says, lying about her name.
Pleasure to meet you. Now, Captain, if I may, and Daboul kind of just turns away from her the sister a little bit. if our means is to switch these transponders and then leave.
What? No, you can't do that.
Well, listen, the Hutt's got a gun. Now, Captain, if we were to do that, they'll be coming for her. Perhaps you should, I don't, is that still the plan, Captain?
Rosara, come with me. We have space on my ship. You and your boyfriend.
Boyfriend. The word is boyfriend.
Oh God, I want to die. He can come too.
We work here. The rig's up. I mean, it's we all. I have a share.
But
this is a really good haul. We're going to get these guys to the core worlds. They're going to pay us so many credits. You should just come with us and not hang around a hut. Or, no offense, I like Athorians. Celis should come too. Celis!
Perhaps keep it down.
And I'm looking.
Vaso says, let's hold off on offering shares. Nima.
Like I just make this face when he calls her Nima. I'm like, and I turn to her and I'm gonna try to convince her.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Sweet. So let's see if you can
fast
talk her.
talk, yeah?
I think so.
All right.
Plus window coerce, mislead, cajole, stall, straight up lie to someone.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like get her to.
Roll
I guess I just
plus.
want to entice her. I guess let's do it. So okay. 5, 6, 7. That's an 8.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, they'll buy it, but the MC adds one more thing first. Concrete proof of what you're saying. They want something extra on top of what you've already got. They're uncertain, not ready to go one way or the other. And you're trying to convince her, hey, ditch this job, get your ship. You can bring your boyfriend.
Yeah. And I think what I'm also trying to say is that if you do this, you're going to get the corporation, the Corazon Industries Corp, mad at you, and that's not someone you want to try.
Nice. That's nice. That's real good. And she says, "Oh, yeah." So she'll kind of motion for Vaso to come over, and he ushers the nobles onto the ship. He's keeping his eye on you, Celis. Are you still like? Do you have a bead on him still? Like you're not letting out the pressure?
No, but I think you can tell that, a sniper who's intent on violence is there, right, sighting down. And there's all this activity going on, and like Celis is waving hi to Rosara, and yeah, hey, whatever.
So it's a little bit harm.
Yeah, it's a little bit relaxed. Yeah.
Okay.
But still got a bead. And I think that whenever is it Vaso?
Mm-hmm. Vaso.
Whenever Vaso ushers the nobles back onto the ship, you see Celis kind of snap to and look over to Gorty. Like,
meanwhile, a load lifter droid comes down the gangplank, picks up some more crates, goes back, just ignoring all that's going on, doing its job. But Vaso will he shuts up, he basically gets them on board, and then he comes out. He reslings his blaster rifle, and the two of them, Rosara and Vaso, have a brief conversation where she brings him up to speed. He goes, we have a contract. We have a contract. If we don't fulfill it, we're going to miss payments on the ship. The rig is our home.
But this is a legal job that we have too. If the corp is after you, they're not. If we don't do this, they're going to send someone else.
Your sister says, but we're almost off ship. We're almost off planet. Maybe you just don't. Once we get on the core worlds and we drop these people off, they're not going to worry about the rig. They're not going to worry about us at all. There'll be legal matters. They're just trying to. It's just course working against rich people. What? Why are we helping a corporation, Hein?
So Celis is going to step over and say, you know, we might not be the only ones who've been provided this job. If our job was to make sure that this didn't get off ship, off planet. But if it weren't me, I'd hire someone that if we failed, we blew up the ship.
Also nods. That makes sense. Whatever they don't have to pay you, they pay some hitters. I really love the rig. Narsar says, me too. It's a good ship. But this is my sister. Oh, actually, would she say would you say like sibling? What do you think? This is my sib?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is my sib, my older sib. Also, we gotta go. Yeah, this job was too good. Carging nobles.
I think Celis is going to turn to Gorty and say, now Gorty here had a good idea. Gorty was looking to...
How are negotiations going, mateys? Have we fostered an accord?
I'm sorry, Gordy's been watching a lot of Old Hollows on the way here. But yes, Celis, you were saying about Gordy's good idea.
Well, if the problem here is that you don't have enough money to keep up payment on the ship, well, we could see if the nobles have enough money for you to keep up payment on the ship, and they just don't get off planet in the process. And that's all our fault.
Right, it's the Hutt's fault, I say, eyes wide. The great pirate Gordy.
Gordy? I am Barto, the dreaded Hutt pirate of the Sixth Reach. Why do you... Gordy?
Yes. That's my mistake. Yes, that is.
Went over this in the briefing.
I tried very hard to forget the briefing. Okay.
Well, if you agree not to interfere, then I shall go and collect my loot.
And I will go with him to collect the loot.
Right, you're going to collect the loot. And then we have that transponder signal, hand signal going on.
Okay. Lead the way, Dread Pirate Barto.
I need to get you to safety.
Okay. And Valsa says, Midnight, I want you to remember all that we're giving up right now. She says, I know. I'm so glad you're coming with me, right? He looks at this motley crew and I can't leave you alone with these beings. And they will leave with you. I'm Tina. As Gorty and Daboul will march into the rig, this little ship here, a light freighter, and you see that there are a pair of gentle beings, nobles, very fancy, Gorty. Like, what is one thing that you notice on them that, like, their clothing or their attire, or maybe something they're holding that shows that they have the like level of class that you either aspire to or maybe have had snatches of?
Hmm. I think they like have sat down in these custom built chairs
Mm,
that are like almost like Star Trekian, I guess, like very like fitted,
nice.
and then like little like layers of plush rolls of some alien leather, and um yeah, like I just see like like what maybe otherwise be like a fearful like squeezing of their hands like on the like armrest. Instead it's like, wow, look at the supple leather.
Nice.
Now
And yeah,
I
so what do
think
you do when you walk in? You see that.
as we're like going up the loading ramp, I whisper to the pool, now the pool, remember, these people were likely dishonorable before the war and certainly dishonorable now, you know, not reneging on their payments. And I'm certain that all of their belongings are insured. So don't feel too guilty about all this. We're just gathering some just a little bit of extra pocket change, so to speak. And you have the transponder. Yes, we're still going through with that.
I believe so. And Gordy, if I may, it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself more than me. I am just swapping a transponder, a simple technical job, you see. What you do when we get in there is on your conscience, my sluggish friend.
I won't have backup.
The pirate's life for you, Gordy.
You're right. Initiative.
I pull out a handheld stunner. I think it's an item I have.
Sure.
Yeah, just a little stunner, and I give it to Gordy, and I say, "Try not to get your rap sheet any longer, Gordy."
Yes. All right. Well, I will keep them occupied for long enough. Um, I may need some assistance with some furniture later. Don't worry about it. But time to get into character. All right.
What is the
Greeting.
meaning of this?
What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of anything? It is merely the flow of credits through the galaxy, and the heart of greed pumping
Ah,
that
I
blood
see. You're
through.
some 2-credit hut thug, I see.
Oh. Well,
Stands up. I am from Tapani House. I'll have you know, sir, that if you wish to do harm to me or my daughter, you will answer for it.
And you, sir, will sit down. We are the captains of this ship now. You do not speak to the dread pirate Barto like this, lest you be blasted through and riddled with bolts. Now, take a seat.
I think you're threatening someone. I love it.
little like crestfallen, like cut, like just starts to swell up. Like he did.
Let's see how this how your threatening goes.
Yeah, sure. I'm probably good at that.
You roll
Threaten
plus
is face.
face.
Okay. I have a +0.
You have a 0 face.
0 face. Well, it makes sense. The Athorians are kind of weird looking for most species.
It's true.
And I get, oh, wrong button. Need to reroll selected. I get a 10.
What? This is just everything's.
Yeah,
it's
4 and a 6.
Man. Everything's bantha. It's all bantha all the time. And
perhaps as I threaten, my Athorian like war throat kind of rumbles, and the guy feels it.
yeah, so Lord Cor Falcon takes a step back. He looks down to his daughter, and then he sits down. But he definitely wants to talk to someone's manager about this. But he doesn't right now. He's making a note of this, though. He will not soon forget.
Dabul looks to Gordy, nods, and then goes off into the ship to change the transponder.
All right, then, you know the drill. Jewelry, silks, fine furnishings, tapestries, portraits.
Are we being robbed, Father? Yes, it appears so. How interesting. Cool. So I think you need to give me. Let's do a little bit of. You're doing a little bit of patch job, right? Doing some. Strip, grind, melt, taking a piece of equipment, breaking it down for parts. Maybe not. Let's see. Some of yours would break. No, I don't think either of those moves exactly apply. But we do have
Kind of scraping a Hulk, I guess.
There's a move called I think Gordy might be scraping a Hulk. I think brain is repair something, so maybe that. I mean, maybe it's just brain.
Make a patch. Maybe you're just kind of patching together one transponder with another and trying to make sure that everything aligns.
Sure, whatever you feel.
Well, no. Which one do you think? Repair something? I'm gonna go with that. That's brain. Do you want to roll brain or junk? I guess the question.
Well, I would rather roll junk. Obviously, it's higher, but I mean, I don't need it. I'm gonna succeed. I think make a patch makes more sense since it is like swapping something out. It's not broken, but repairing is fixing something that's broken. Make a patch is also kind of fixing something that's a little. I can see that. I don't think I'm junking. I think it's brain. I do think it's brain.
Okay, let's do it. Repair something. Yeah. Repair something with your own 2 hands. Roll plus brain. I'm with you.
+1.
Those are really close moves, so I appreciate you talking it through with me.
Yeah, no problem. I got a 3. Oh no, I got a 6 + 1, a 7.
Oh, that's good. A 7 is a success. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 9, you'll get it working, but the MC. That'll be me. Imposes one of the following. It'll hold for now. Breaking is. It'll take resources you don't want to spend. There we go.
Cool.
Here's your choice. You can basically expend. Your choice is their transponder won't work on your ship, or you end up breaking the Hydra spanner that Renil just gave you.
Their transponder will not work on our ship. It's sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's terrible. That's dang.
But the Bantha's transponder, which has been captured by the New Republic, and you guys are on a little bit of a watch there, is now installed in the rig. Ein and Celis. Celis, are you hanging back to keep watch over the rig, or are you walking with Ein, their sister, and Vaso?
I'm keeping an eye on Vaso. So if Vaso was sticking with Rosara, then I'm sticking with Vaso.
Okay. And Rosara will say, Are we leaving? Do you want to stick around here? You offered us a place on your ship?
Yeah, no, we're out of here. And I think she notices I make it a point to stick to her new name. I correct myself, Nima. Yeah, we're on the way to the ship. It's a good ship. We have a loft cat.
Ooh, I love loft cats. You know that. That's really you should have led with that.
Yeah, I let it stay on the ship. I was thinking of you when I did that.
I always wanted one, and our parents would never. This is great. It's good. See, Vaso, they have a loft cat. Loft cats they only choose keepers who are good. Vaso's like, and I guess Celis, Ein, the two of you will walk across the spaceport until you get to the Bantha, and we see Rosara, Nima's eyes as she's looking over and seeing all the things. Oh yeah, we could do that and we could do that. Like she's obviously thinking of engineering things to do. And Vaso looks over and he does a moment of
There's a lot of potential, right? I mean, you were always good at fixing up things, Nima.
And as you guys are about to head on to the bantha, you hear like the low sound of a starfighter coming over the starport. And it slips past you. It has no New Republic markings, and you can actually, you hear it more than you see it. Like there's a little bit of some kind of cloaking going on, and it is making a beeline for the landing pad that you just left. What do you do? Celis, you notice that as well.
Yeah, Celis totally gets on the horn and is like, you need to get out of Dodge.
Okay. So the bull, Gorty, the two of you hear from Celis, you need to get out of some place called Dodge. Or you need to dodge something. Maybe that's what that means.
Dabul, finishing up the transponder job, comes out to where Gordy is, ushering the nobles around their ship, asking them to loot everything. Captain
Tell me this
Dredd,
piece. Where's this from?
Captain Dread Pirate Barto, I believe we should be going, sir.
I received that at a ball from a gentleman caller. It's very nice, don't you think?
Oh yes, I love the Alderanian finish.
Oh, you have made friends.
Oh,
That is
Alderaan.
good.
Oh, Alderaan.
Truly a lost art.
She's very like, this is the thing that you do when Alderaan is mentioned around these Tapani nobles, evidently.
Alderaan, yes. Dread Pirate, I believe we must be going soon. Do we have enough loot to go?
Oh yes. I feel like this wooden chest that I've just been dragging.
Why don't we have you scrape a Hulk to see how well you've gathered valuables? Because that's a roll plus junk.
Indeed. And that is, I think I have a 0 in junk.
You do. You have no junk. You're a worm. I mean, what do you expect? Double entendre with junk. I'm silly like that.
Let's roll some orange.
We've already mentioned jizz music. It's out the window, guys.
This one's
a
explicit.
5. It's a 5. So is this? What does that mean?
You're dragging this little wooden chest. It's filled with valuables, obviously. Along with, some identifying markations that will be a problem later. And Lord Corsus, are you nearly done?
Yes, it appears that our time here is done. But, my lord, it's been a pleasure.
I cannot say the same. Barto, dreaded pirate of the Sixth Reach. Mark my words, you will not be forgotten.
I like the way that you say that. All right. Post haste. Dabul, you carry this.
Oh, all right, Captain.
And that's when you guys start to head down and the ship is rocked because you've just been hit by a pair of blasters. So everything kind of tilts as the ship loses a little bit. The load lifter droid lets off a little klaxon warning and starts quickly trying to move out of the ship. And the noble and his daughter both scream. What is it that you do, Dabul?
Dabul is going to... Oh, well, he's got to act fast. I think Dabul wants to... he wants to get out. He's just like, oh, we all should be going. It feels like company has arrived, and you do not want to be in here when that next... And then he runs out.
Okay, let's have you roll plus gut.
All right, -1. I got a 5 -1, a 4.
Nice. Okay, on a miss, you don't make it. Things go bad. Gorty. Hey, mark that XP.
I did.
For 6 XP for an advance that
Let's
you
go.
take post-demise. Gorty, what are you doing?
I let out a scream that harmonizes with the daughters of a pitch unexpectedly high, and then cough and say, "Oh well, oh yes, it's time to get moving."
Okay, good. Let's see you act fast as well.
Okay, that's
Roll
a plus
plus
1
gut.
for me. just keeps spinning the 1. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna try rolling 2 new ones because those are acting weird.
Okay.
Okay, 8.
8. On a 7 to 9, you make it work. The DMC imposes one of the following. You suffer harm in the rush to make it in time. Something you're using breaks and must be repaired. You face a tough choice, a hard bargain, or an ugly outcome. So here's the hard choice that you need to make. Duboul trips over the daughter, and he is trying to crawl out of here. You can make it to safety with no harm to you whatsoever. Or you can try to grab Duboul and the daughter, knowing that only one of them will make it out of this ship. The daughter, she's like 14.
So I get to choose me with no consequences, or Duboul, or this little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, Rich. Oh man, I love all 3 of these alternate universes.
Okay. Oh, by the way, her name is Cinna Falcon.
Oh no!
Just
Don't give me
just
your
so we
name.
have a name, so we have a name there.
And just to check in, would this be harm to children?
That's a fair question. It's make it off the ship, but it's not necessarily the ship blows up.
Right. Okay.
Is that fair? Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm going to save Duboul.
Okay, fair enough.
And you may never forgive me for this, Duboul.
Sweet. So,
It's a pirate's life for us. Oh.
So Cinna Falcon, who, of course, very politely showed her reverence for those lost on Alderaan, she reaches out to try to grab onto your hut tail, but you're kind of a slimy guy. And your tail just slithers away, and the load lifter droid has already made it off the ship. Load lifter droid's good to go. You guys make it off. You grab Duboul, and the Lord Core Falcon, he runs up to the front and straps himself in and takes off, right? The ship was already primed to take off, so he takes off with the gangplank wide open, and the daughter like looking out at you guys with the shock and fear on her face, and the ship just zips off over the spaceport with this cloaked ship taking after it, chasing the pair of them. So they're gone. Duboul, Gorty. The load lifter droid looks at the two of you. Do you... Hold on just a second. Do you have an opening for a load lifter on your ship?
As a matter of fact, and I hand him the chest. Come with us.
Thank you.
Ding ding. As I kind of pat it on the back as it's going.
Cool.
I'm going to spend one hold to show up exactly there with the ship so they can.
Nice. So the bantha comes hovering over and kind of lands in the same. Hey, by the way, they paid for the day. Also we'll point out, so you can just land there. Land down there and come with his chest and Gorty and Duboul. Yeah.
Get on board.
You guys get on board with a new droid. With the gonk droid and the load lifter, which I think we'll just call, Lifty. It likes being called Lifty. That's his job. He lifts things. It's a load lifter droid. We actually saw in the last season of Clone Wars what a load lifter droid looks like. And I don't know if that's the only load lifters that they have, but holy crap, those things are scary. Binary load lifters. Let me see if I can find a picture. They're not built for aesthetics. There we go. Got one. just show you guys that picture in chat. Or not. There we go. Boom. Load lifter droids. They have this like single big eye and really, really stable looking legs. They're gonna this thing will take a lot of room, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, friends. So I'm curious. Now that you have a very, very full boat, and I don't think you're, how are you going to handle this job here where you did the thing and the thing? What's the plan, Tina?
Yeah, I think Itina's going to look at the loader, going to look at Gordy and Debor, going to look at Celis. Okay. Crew meeting. We did the nobles were taken.
Just putting on jewelry.
So I think that whenever the noble ship took off and the Smoky Bantha landed, and we saw that, Celis then puts out the ping to the authorities. This is where they're located.
Nice.
Right? So they're chased down. So that's kind of the plan, is that the authorities and maybe this ghost ship will come after him. And then she lets RC out of the bolt hole, like goes back and grabs from, it was Gorty or it was Debul. Debul had the handle, gets the handle back from Debul, opens the bolt hole back up, and is like, it's gotten a little crowded around here, so come on out, we'll talk.
Cracks her neck, stretches her leg, gets out. Wow, you weren't kidding. Are you going to space me now? I still haven't paid you.
I was like, you're still paying, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think your priority is pretty high on the list.
All right. So, Ein, what's your plan?
Yeah, I think the plan is to finish this last job, drop off RC wherever she wants to go.
Looking at the Minos cluster, I think RC really would prefer to go to Aderlon. It's the best place for her to lay low.
To basically
Aderlon,
come back to us. Yeah.
Yeah, to come back with you guys, because she would end up going back that way anyway. And that's where Gensi Vuktu is as well. So, hey, friends, with our remaining time, we get to do a few fly spans. This is going to be fun. So you did get paid 4 credits. Do you imagine that you are spending those? Because you're going to have to, right? Because you got to fly a span. You're going to have to buy up some supplies and fuel. You should remember your ship. You're going to have, your size is a 3, so you have to spend 1 per size, and 1 credit for just supplies. So you're going to need a total of, to get from Eliad to Chesserite, you're flying a span there, and then from Chesserite to Karadef, and then from Karadef to Aderlon, remember, is 3 spans. This is going to be crazy. Well, let's do it. So first of all, I'm going to drain your credits by, you're going to need a total of 3 fuel just to get the Chesserite. So that's 2 more credits, and then you can burn your 1 supply. So your credits are sitting at 8. You'll need to take it down to 6. Somebody want to make that change, or you guys want me to do it?
Yeah, I can do it. No
All right,
problem.
cool.
So we're down to 6.
You're down to 6 credits when you reach Chesserite, burning up all your fuel. Do you wish to, when you fly a span, if you remember that move, which is in our bucket of moves, I believe, or did I stick it? Yeah, I stuck it in the.
Each credit is a +1, right?
No. That is the base. If you want to spend more credits, you can get +1s to burn more.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to burn through my share. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm going to roll with a +2. So take it down to 4. Like, but I'm sort of like looking at everybody, like, it's coming out of my share. Don't worry. I wouldn't want Gordy to not be able to buy new hats or something like that.
Just to be clear, we have 2 more jumps after this. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
You do.
I do. Okay. This is so
You're
hard.
going to pick up a job on Tish, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. This is hard. This is a hard life.
It's a hard life you guys lead.
Okay, let's go with a +1 first.
Okay.
And then we'll see if we can pick up a job. Yeah, okay. So +1. Oh, let me do the minus first before I forget. So we're down to 5. Okay. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, so close.
Would have been a 10. Anyway, it's okay.
Should have been a 10. Dang it. Okay, fly span. That is on column D of the bucket of moves tab. You fly span between 2 planets, or basically 2 systems. Roll for every span's worth of fuel and supplies you burn at +1, so that's extra span, which we talked about. On a 7 to 9, choose 2, which can repeat. You encounter an uncertain ship or an unoccupied hulk. Every crew member chooses 1 chain to Titan. You encounter a spaceborne hazard or danger.
How are our chains? How are we doing?
Oh, you guys are great.
Okay, we have the slack. I'll choose 1 Titan. I think that makes sense. We've been through a lot. RC's on the ship. Like, things are kind of a mess. I feel like that makes sense.
There's something I could propose here that may help out, Jamie.
Ooh, sure.
So one of my moves is I rolled this back at the beginning of the game. I can hold 2 to keep chains from tightening.
Oh, nice.
So I could just wash out those consequences for today if you'd like.
Ooh, and that's hold 2, so we could just choose that twice, right? We could say, like, maybe Gordy throws a party.
It's not a party, it's a ball. Come on, get into it.
Let's just so we have the color. Gorty, you kind of step in and stop a couple of things from getting more heated. Daboul, who do you decide to kind of, like, who do you have a little bit of a conflict with that Gorty smooths over?
I think Daboul actually is his conflict. Did I headphone fall out? I think the conflict that Gordy smooths over is between Daboul and Gordy. I think Daboul kind of comes to him a little upset that he wanted to play pirate and didn't know what he was getting into. And maybe Daboul is trying to pretend that he doesn't care as much as he does for his big slug friend. So, it's one of those where he's just like, I'm so frustrated with you, but I do love you. And I'll let it go this time. But good gravy.
Come on, Daboul. Come on, it's me, Gordy.
Gordy, I know it's you, but when we should be a junken vessel. We should not be taking on these illicit activities, these illegal jobs. And it could have gone really bad back there. We almost were blown to smithereens, Gordy.
But we weren't.
But we weren't. All right, let's open up that chest. What did you get for us?
There we go. Look at what we got here.
Sweet. Yeah, so you open up the chest and find that it is effectively like a data pad with a bunch of bank account information that you're going to have to get a really good slicer to be able to buy into. Otherwise, this is effectively useless. Like, it's beyond your skill set. This is Tapani, like, corporate level. Yeah, but could be very fruitful for you at some future point. Celis, who is it that you...
tiaras.
Oh, more tiaras? Yeah. You got those on your your other scraping. Cells, who is it that you nearly get into an argument with, or like some kind of seething anger that Gorty smooths over as you guys arrive at Cheshire?
Yeah, so I think that Celis kind of gets in. Let me get the name again. Celis kind of gets in Rosara's face and is like, there's some stuff going down here, and we didn't need this extra baggage, but are you sure that Vaso can carry his weight? It's getting a little tense, and that's whenever Ein steps in and protects the sister and is like, you can't get in, you can't blame her. It's our fault just as much as it is theirs. And there's this whole thing, and that's whenever Gordy steps in.
Nice.
Celis. The bull, Ein, they have wisdom. They're correct. It's my fault. I pushed us into something, perhaps in haste, to say the least. And unexpected consequences certainly followed. Did not anticipate any sort of a familial reunion, to say the least. If there's anyone to be cross at, it is I. And as recompense, I would like to offer my finely appointed shuttle, only slightly damaged, to our new guests so that no one has to give up their bunk. I will just go and hang out with the ditch cat and crawl along the floors of my beloved bantha, skulk in the shadows as penance for my rash action.
And Rosario says, "Oh no, oh no."
No,
And
that's
Vaso
fine. That's a
grabs-
good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah.
And Vaso like grabs her by the arm and he goes, "Oh no, let's go check out the shuttle." And the two of them will take off. That is awesome. You guys land at Cheshire. You need to get a job in order to afford fuel to get back to get paid for this other job. So, what's the plan, Ein?
I'm going to look up my contacts. We are where again? Sorry, we're at...
You are on, if you check on the Minos cluster, you're currently at Cheshire, the place where you guys are ran into the Rhodian scavengers, Unta Gunta.
Ooh, okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to look up my contacts. I'm going to say it is... Would a station master make sense, or a wholesale trader?
Yeah, no, it's not, either of those. You tell me what you want, and we will make it make sense.
Yeah, I like the station master idea.
Okay, so you've got a station master that you know here at Cheshire. We'll say that there's like this rinky-dink small space station in geosynchronous orbit over. As we look at the Minos cluster, you're in the Cheshire system. So let's say that you're actually going to have to go to Cheshire 6. There's a space station over top of that. It's mostly a Jawa space station where they recondition stuff that from the moon-wide garbage dump that is Cheshire. I always say a T, Cheshire 6. And yeah, it's nearly spring, so the bacteria in the underground waste sinks have been activated. So the Jawas have moved up to this space station here, and they're reconditioning things and rebuilding them before they head off into space crawlers to sell at various places. What kind of job do you want from this gentle being?
Yeah. Should I make them a Bothan or should I make them a Jawa?
Whatever you want.
A Jawa would be funny. We have to admit, right? Like, I just love talking to Jawas.
It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a Jawa. I'm going to replace that. So I'm going to say it's Chick Uisok.
Okay.
Gonna change the name. Yeah, so Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, that's right. I'm looking at the move. I get to say what it is, right? And then we roll to see if it is. Okay. I'm gonna name the type of job. It is, we need legal because we barely got out of it last time.
It's probably wise, yeah.
Yeah, that's the hope anyway. And the type of job,
a haul, a ferry, an escort, a hit, or a fetch.
I'll say I'm trying to find if there's something that we can haul from here to where we're headed anyway.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see you make a roll. Let's see how this goes.
I also took an advancement.
Oh, what's that?
I'm taking a move from the bruiser, ironically enough. That basically says when you're present, when the captain gets a job, give them +1 on the roll.
What? You get a +1? Okay, cool. So you head onto this Jawa ship, and I'm totally biting off the Mandalorian thing that like the clearance for everything is way too low. So you guys all kind of have this like slump around. There's a bunch of Ugnaughts and Jawas that work there, and everything's perfect for them. Everything is built in Jawa scale. But yeah, I'm Tina. You head in, and Gorty slithers along with you for you to get this job. And
oh, welcome. It is good to see you again, I'm Tina. And I don't mean that sexually because you are abhorrent to me.
Yes, I appreciate how abhorrent I am to you. You are equally abhorrent to me. And this is our usual banter. But, you know, I have a crew that's willing to do some work. And I'm really confident because I rolled a 12.
Nice.
Oh yes, spring is sprung here on Cheshire Isle 6, and we have many things that need to be carried. Are you headed to Adelon, perhaps? We have some reconditioned holo projectors.
Oh, well, it's kind of out of the way. But, you know, I think we can maybe swing by a favor for a friend, you know.
We will give you fuel and supplies for your large bantha to carry as much as possible of what we have been able to recondition. Will be sold by our agents there on Adelon for a very reasonable price.
Of course. Sure, I'm happy to have our crew be of service.
Cool. So it's basically a 2-span hop. The minimum just to break even for you guys is 8 credits. So with a 12 plus, you get exactly the job that you want, and you're being offered by Chick. We'll say that Chick is offering you effectively like 13, nice lucky 13. So you can skim like 5 credits off the top of that, which is enough for each of your credit. Yeah, each of your crew members to get like 1 credit payout if everything goes well, which it never does.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. And Chick, because of your great relationship with him and the fact that he finds you so repugnant, will pay you the 8 creds up front with fuel and supplies as long as you buy from them.
Absolutely. Pleasure doing business too with you, my disgusting friend.
Cool. And yeah, there are and the place is going to be filled to the gills. Everyone's going to be like moving around cargo. You're even have to like dump a couple bolt holes open to stick other things in from the supplies that you get. And the fuel that you guys get is actually like reconditioned waste, but it will work. It just lets off a really peculiar odor.
We just have to not breathe too deeply. It'll be fine. And I think like
this is a fine vintage. Why did you acquire this?
No, Gertie. Oh my gosh. How did you survive to adulthood? I don't understand. And I think on that note, Ina's also being overprotective of her sister. Like she's not allowed, her sister to do any work. Like, no, you just sit. No, you just be comfortable. Just,
We talked about making changes to the bantha. It really needs some I've been talking with Daboul about some ideas that I had, and just fine. I'll sit in the shuttle.
Just take a break, right? A short vacation, right? I just got you back. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Hate doing nothing, but okay. You're the captain.
Besides, you can mess up the hut shuttle a little bit, right?
Oh, we've already messed some stuff up, if you know what
Okay.
I mean.
Oh no, I don't need. Well, I don't need to hear it.
Vasa just chuckles. Cool. So let's have you fly another span.
All right.
Do you want to spend any creds?
Yeah, let's just go for the +2, I think.
All right. So you're down to 3 credits.
Okay. Down to 3. Oh, do I add the 8 also now that we got, or do I do that later?
What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand. Oh, no. The 8 was just straight for fuel and supply. So just imagine that you've got enough to get you from Cheshire Isle to...
Got it. Yeah. And then minus. Okay, no worries.
And then on to add on. So, I mean, I can
Perfect.
click all the boxes, but then we just immediately click them off when you do the roll.
Good thing I spent the 2. We're at 10.
Nice. Okay, so look at our bucket of moves for fly a span. On a 10+, you get to choose 1. You see that?
But I have the move where I get to choose 2 instead.
Oh, that's right. So you
Yeah.
get 2 choices
Nice.
from some cool stuff.
I'm gonna choose. Ooh. Let's stumble across an abandoned hulk. Let's try to get a little more cash. And every crew member chooses 1 chain. What's the difference again? I'm sorry, between heat or cool or...
That's okay. Heat is the numerical adjustment. And then the choking and the slack is the other part, if that makes sense.
Let's go with loosen.
Okay.
I think maybe I kind of like the idea of Gordy going overboard and we have a real ball of a ball, like if that makes sense. Like
Sweet.
complete with drag queen kind of ball show kind of situation. Category is like that kind of scenario.
Gorty's big into fashion, guys. It's good. It's a good thing. Own it. Work that runway. The way to go. So everyone gets to loosen a chain. Is that right? Who chooses? So Daboul, who do you want to loosen a chain with?
I'm going to loosen my chain with Celis to taut instead of choking.
Nice.
I think just the good times we're having in the ship, everything's kind of easing out. It's less of a individual, like me and Celis come to an agreement. It's just everything's going to be okay.
Gorty, who do you choose a chain to loosen?
Captain and I will go from taut to slack.
Nice. You guys are all good. Do you share like a little brandy, or do you have a little chat? How does that loosen? What's the little microfiction that we see for that?
Maybe you catch me at the tail end of a hollow recording.
You know what? I think what I'm gonna do is you're gonna be talking to your parents.
Because the shuttle's given up, I think you're like up in the gun turret is the only place you can find to quietly record. Nice. Yeah.
I accidentally lean on the joystick.
So
And
sorry,
I
go.
Oh no, it's okay. And I think I will actually get up because of the sound of the turret and catch the hollow recording. And I think Gordy is perhaps like maybe exaggerating what happened on the last trip, and I will actually say, right, that's right, Gordy, we couldn't have made it without you. You did a really good job.
you hear that, folks? It's the captain themselves. Speaking high praise of your little boy. Out here making my way in the space lanes I told you I would. You said I should wait another 40 years, but I made it.
Sweet. Celis, with whom do you loosen a chain?
I'm going to loosen a chain with the bull. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the choices was that we found a Hulk.
Hulk, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that while we're working on that, trying to scrape whatever we can, I think that Dabul is like missing some tools, or I actually think the Hydra spanner that he got kind of starts to float off.
Ooh.
And Celis catches it and hands it back. But, yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah, I like that.
Nice. That is cool. And then I and Tina, you get to loosen a chain as well because you're part of this crew.
Yeah, and I chose Gordy, so I think it makes sense for that scene. But I also think Gordy convinces Ein to join one of the shows, and so there's a moment where Ein is dressed up like full out drag queen style, only because it's gonna make Rosara laugh. Like
Oh, so much laughter. Nima Oli will roll over. She does a giggle snort. Where she tears up. It's never hurtful, like laughing at. It's just taking pure delight and the joy of seeing her sibling again. I think it's just overwhelming. So yeah, good. Let's quickly go over our Hulk. I'm going to say that the Hulk in question, you guys knew because you hit that Y-wing on your way to. So on your way back, you kind of slow down as you reach the Gesseril system, and you end up finding another Hulk, not a New Republic Hulk this time, but what had drifted into an asteroid field was an old clone era Star Destroyer. So it's not whole, it's pieces of it, but effectively kind of drifted into that asteroid field. You were able to pick that up, and Dabul and Celis, the two of you, were headed out there on tethers, I imagine, to do some scraping. But I think, Dabul, you've gotten remarkably better at this from all of your other troubles.
Well, of course, yes. And I finally got an advance, so I picked up Scrapyard Buddies. So here's hoping that I get a 10 plus. Let's find out. My normal roll is +2, and then luckily Celis is nearby in case I need help. And I got a 7 + 2, so 9.
You got to call for some help.
Yeah, I'd really like to get it up over that next level. Let me call for help. Perhaps that's as the spanner is drifting away. This is the help I'm getting.
Nice.
Okay, so you're calling for help from me, right? Mm-hmm. And our heat is 3, and we are taut. So what does that mean?
So we look in the bucket of moves when call for help happens. So make a roll. Don't like the call for help. One room can't do anything. Come to helping you decide how many +1s they add to the roll. Do you want to add? How many +1s do you add? Do you want to add to the roll? Just need 1 to get to a 10, but you can add as many as you want. But the more you add, the more consequences will happen.
Yeah, let's just add 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So if you have a slack or strained chain, slack or strained chain, that is hard for me to say. The helping crew member suffers the consequences for each +1. You add the lower the 2 heats between the crew members to the roll being helped. So for each +1 added, the crew member chooses 1 consequence. If you have a choking chain, yeah. So here are the options you have to take. You have to take one of these. Take 1 harm. The room you're in takes 1 harm. Something important breaks, must be repaired. The crew member heats their chain with the other. The chain between the 2 members tight.
And that's my choice.
Yeah, and I think and then you also choose one of the 2 things from the next thing, right? Is that how that works?
Sorry. I just want to make sure I do it. So you do. I'm actually going to go to the where I didn't. There we go. All right. So for each +1 added, the crew member helping chooses one consequence. And then you have a slacker strain chain. God, listen.
Well, and in the move it says strained, but on the character sheet it says taught. But I assume taught and strained are the same things.
Yes, they are the same things, and I probably need to go tweak the keeper. So the helping crew member suffers the consequences for each +1, and the lower the 2 heats between the crew members to the roll being helped. Okay. And what's the lower of the 2 heats?
My heat is 3 with Celis.
My heat is 3.
Okay, so that's that. Yeah, you just do one thing and you help. That is great. If you have a choking chain, you don't. Okay, so that means that Celis, being the helper, chooses one consequence.
So what would be good?
You choose one consequence that you suffer as the helper. Okay, that's where I was a little confused. But
and do I need to make a roll?
You do not.
Okay,
there's no roll.
It just happens because, yeah. I think I take harm, and this is we see part of the the Hulk is moving around. I grab the spanner, I hand it back, but I think that there's, because we're in space, things are floating, and I kind of get pinched between 2 things.
Ooh, yeah.
And it kind of crushes the, me inside the spacesuit a little bit, and the spacesuit starts to vent, so I have to get back to get a repair to get that spacesuit, back under control. And I think that arm's kind of hanging limply or something.
Oof, nice. Vicious. I like it. So that gets you to a 10 plus. So we have a couple things that go off. First, you're scraping a Hulk. So on a 10 plus, we'll scrape a Hulk. You find useful or valuable or both. You're looking for useful value. That really doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why would it sounds like it's giving you a choice, but it sounds like it's not.
Yeah, that is a weird one.
You find useful valuables. Yeah, I guess you just define. Do you want to find something useful or something valuable?
I think I'm going to find something useful, and that's going to be I'm going to find some whole components that I can use to repair the busted astromech droid that we found in another span. We're going to have a whole bunch of droid friends.
Oh, yeah, you just like Glom Gum.
Right? Exactly. So it's more just the, this is all just kind of rusted out sheet metal and stuff, that not plasteel and whatnot. None of this is going to be worthwhile. And then I see some motors or servo mechanics or something. I'm like, that I can do something with. So
Nice.
the bull takes that. And then on a 10 plus, I gain 1 hold for my contacts. So on a 7 to 9, blah, blah, blah. So I have a hold. And that it just says I have a hold that I can use with contacts later. So I perhaps also find something nice in that scrap Hulk for a certain Ithorian on my mind.
Doc Ondor will be very pleased. Yeah, and I think what that does is it gives you
not that Ithorian, MC Rich.
Cousin? Oh, I see. Ronil, I see. Let's just put her in there. I think that attitude is pretty there we go.
Perfect.
Find that. Awesome. Awesome. Me and your cousin's gonna be so mad. But what they don't know don't hurt you. Awesome. Let's with our remaining time, let's see if you guys can fly a span to get home. By home, I mean another place in Minos Cluster where you finish off this job. You're headed to Adelon from Karadef. Let's roll one more span, Captain.
Ooh, okay.
You
So
want to
rolling
for extra.
Ooh. Okay. So, but we're down to 3 credits. So what does that look like?
Down to 3 credits. Hoping
Yeah.
to get paid.
Yeah. So we're technically in the negative. Is that right?
No.
Oh, okay.
You've got enough fuel and supplies.
Oh, that's
You-
right. Okay,
You
okay.
just didn't
okay,
do the
okay.
boxes. So your
Got it,
credits
got it.
are your credits at this point.
Okay. Do we spend? This is so hard. I'm gonna. Oof. Okay, I'm gonna spend one credit, just in case. Okay. Let's re-roll. 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't need to roll. I didn't need the +1, but it's okay. We got another 10, 11, 12, 13.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
splendid.
Yeah.
So with a 10
mhm.
plus, you get to choose 2 because you're a captain doing captain stuff.
Yeah, and I have my route stuff. So I'm gonna say, oh, okay. At least it's. I'm just glad we didn't get anything else. I'm gonna say, let's come across a station.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and then, Dubul, do you want another Hulk to scrape, or?
I think it would be fine if we wanted to get some scrap for credits, but I also think if there's anybody else's moves that might be triggered to experiment with or something like that on any of these other ones, I'd be happy to let anybody else get that.
Yeah. Does anyone want something else to trigger something else? Yeah, let's try to get more credits to Dubul. Come on.
All right, let's scrape that Hulk.
Another Hulk.
All right. Let's see. In Aderlon, what kind of Hulk would be? Yeah, I think what you find from Rusted Hulk is there's a space station over Aderlon that was set up for a specific. Like, it's not really a space station. It's effectively one big set, like, because Aderlon is this huge, it's effectively like Bollywood, Hollywood kind of planet, right? So there was a fly-by-night production company that put this rickety space station in orbit to shoot this like horror holovid, and then they ran out of funding. So it's just sitting out there, and no one's bothered to mess with it yet because it's probably nothing on there anyway. But
So
there is.
Are we blending the two options then together? It's an abandoned station basically.
It's a Rusty Hulk station. Is that fair?
Okay.
Like, is that okay?
Yeah,
like
I like
it's
that.
it's been up for a while. It's not a full-on station in that it was never really made to be used as a space station, just a series of sets. So kind of imagine you're going to an Old West town, except the Old West town is like a bunch of like backdrops, like.
No, I know exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except
I love it.
space station. Yeah.
All right, I'm rolling +2. I got a 3, so a 5 total. You know what? I don't want to ask for help. What happens, Rich?
Wow, that's amazing. And
how does this wrap us up?
Sweet. So you head on to, I think we call this Station Glitter, right? Station Glitter, whereupon was shot the original and then a sequel to a series of like slasher movies on a space station, and costume stuff for Gorty. Yeah, she look come along. So you get on board and you start working on, say like there's a power conduit. You're like, oh man, yeah, this thing had to have power. But as you're working on the power conduit, you hear from the ship, maybe it's Ein, maybe it's Celis, that it appears that the space station is starting to fall apart. As just you guys coming on board, you effectively kind of knocked it out of the very unstable geosynchronous orbit, and it's starting to fall towards, it's been caught in the gravity well of Aderlon. So you're nearly done with the conduit. You just need a few more minutes. You can probably pull it off, Dubul. What do you do?
Well, if I can probably pull it off, Duboul will
I mean, you
continue.
could. All right.
No
You think
worries.
about Ronil. Grab that trusty Hydra spanner. You get to work. I need you to act fast.
Oh, all right, act fast. Oh yeah, perfect gut. -1. Here's where I come back for it.
Mhm.
All right. I I didn't. It didn't change. I don't know if it worked or didn't, but I got a 3 again.
No, let's clear. Let's clear.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
going to clear
refresh.
dice. So let's refresh that.
All right.
Because that seems weird to me.
That they were in the same spot, no less.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they don't move and they don't change, I don't think they actually worked. So get you
All right.
some new ones.
6 -1, 5.
Nice. On a miss, you don't make it, and things go bad.
I'm alpha dogging. We are alpha dogging.
What does Alpha Dog do? What does it mean?
What is
When
this?
one of the crew misses a roll, you can force someone to help them.
Yes!
Whether they call for help or not.
Oh, I love that move. That's awesome. So Duboul, I think it's a thing where you are still working on the power conduit.
Yeah.
Things start getting heated up, and you're like, any minute now. I've almost got it. You pop it, and then it's attached to something else. So you get.
I can do it. I'll just another moment. I'm ready for the. It's just a second. I have just give me another moment.
And I'm gonna roll plus spine to see how this goes. Okay, here we go.
Oh, who have you chosen? Who are you
I've
making
chosen
go help?
Gordy. Because Gordy has to prove to me that the dread pirate. So here we go. I'm gonna roll the dice, and it is. Oh, thank the Lord Jesus. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah,
And what's your spine?
I'm double checking.
one.
Spine is 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
On 10 plus, they'll help. Oh
It's
man,
that
that's
simple.
awesome. On a 7 to 9, your chain tightens. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
I
So you've
think
been-
so no, I'm just gonna say that. I just say, Dread Pirate, I believe this is your call to adventure.
This here with the fire and the gravity.
Yes, and I push you into like
What does my spacesuit look like? Or am I just in my sphere?
so we put you we'll put you in a, you know what, I'm gonna shove you in your shuttle, and we're gonna see that my sister really did go to town on it, like Titanic style.
I will address this later.
I think there's a moment as you take off where Vaso looks to Rosara and says, "We really should have cleaned up." So he's like zip up across trying to rescue Duboul, and we will figure out our call for help. So you've been forced to call for help. The roll is a 5. And Gorty, your relationship with Duboul is slack. Oh, slack. That's wonderful. So
I have
you're
a
going to
2
need to
heat.
at least do 2 for this to be a mixed success. And the sheer amount of consequences to make it a 10 are 5. So that's a thing. How much help do you want to give?
Okay, so I'm already adding 2 because of the lowest heat between this is 2.
Subtract the higher the 2 heats between the crew members being helped. No, it's choking chain. Crap. I'm going to look at I can read it better. I don't like the format of how I moved it into the thing. So.
You bold that one there.
Okay. All right. For each +1 added, member chooses a consequence. If you have a slack chain, then add the lower of the 2 heats between the crew members to the roll being helped. So what is the lower of your 2 heats?
We're both 2, I believe.
Okay, so that means you're adding 2 automatically.
But choosing 2 consequences? Or if I so then if I want to take more to make it a full success, I would take a consequence for each one.
Yes, that's yes. So you automatically get the 2. So you're pushing it to a 7 just by showing up. If you want to push to a 10, you'll need to effectively choose 3 consequences that you are eating Gorty.
I think I will. Because it's a call to adventure, like the like the captain said. I gotta really perform here. I'm the Dread Pirate Barto. So I think our chain should heat. I'll heat my chain with you. I think the shuttle's gonna take some harm.
Oh, ouch.
And so when I say the crew member takes harm, is that going to be me?
Yeah, it's you.
And we haven't seen Gorty take harm yet. I think I'll take harm.
Awesome. I love it. That's so bold. So I think take harm. How does take harm work? We don't take a whole lot of harm. I think you just eat the harm. I don't think there's a harm roll that I saw. There's a death roll. You just eat the harm, and the harm has impacts to you. So I'm going to say that there was something left behind in the shuttle. They didn't, like they'd left out. Celis, is it okay if you store the broken Hydra spanner on Gorty's ship?
Oh yeah,
And
that
that's
sounds
what
great.
thwacks Gorty on the side of the head when you are going in and everything's kind of shaking up, and that Hydra spanner kind of pings a couple of times to damage the ship and thwacks you in the side of the head, and will give you 1 harm from that. And you should definitely secure your stuff before you go.
Ooh.
You're shaken and scraped, and then you dock with the space station, like close enough for Daboul to get to you. Gordy, what do? You've got to get out there. You have to actually be in Daboul's face. He keeps thinking he's going to make it. Meanwhile, like the
I'm
thing
gonna
is
spend
like
my
turning
other
bright
roll.
red. Yeah? Do what?
Just to make sure that the shuttle's exactly where it needs to be.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. So Gordy, what does it you say to Daboul to convince him to give up on that power conduit? Mike, you're muted.
Yes. Daboul, I got over my head once, and you pulled me out. It's time I return the favor. Get on the shuttle.
Wonderful. I love it. Real quick before I reply, Gordy is helping my act fast roll. My act fast roll was not to escape, it was to finish scraping or something. It was to finish.
Yeah, it's to finish
power
scraping
conduit.
the hull. Yeah, to actually finish off the power conduit. So you've got a 10 plus.
But also
You
without
actually
dying.
Yeah, it's also without dying. That's kind of the important part.
Yeah. So I succeed on. I'm sorry. So the
That's
act fast was basically a second attempt at scraping the Hulk, right? That's the same.
Kind of sort of like will you get out of here with that power conduit? It's kind of
Okay. So yeah, on a 10 plus, pull it off just fine. So I pull off acting fast just fine. What I was acting fast was to get that the power conduit. Okay. Yeah. Which, is useful or valuable. That's fine. All right. It's just a moment, just another moment. All right. This will have to do. And Daboul kind of uncouples it, takes it, and he says, "I'm coming, Gordy. open the door for me." And he, jumps in and floats into the back end of it.
In the back of the shuttle, and then on you come up because the shuttle is now starting to get buffeted by some of the gravity well, and then you swoop in and you guys are able to get Gordy free, and you have this power conduit which the Gawk droid can use. You can always use it to give your ship some upgrades. Just patch the thing on, and then let's have you all get paid. Right? I'm sorry. Yes?
Just a real quick bit of color. I look over to like this family portrait I have hung on the wall. There's like a piece of like lingerie or something draped over a corner. Just like
Gordy, quite the party you've been having in here. This will fetch us a pretty credit. I think you might be able to redecorate a little bit with it.
and disinfect, hopefully.
Oh, you do not like it to be so sticky? I thought you liked it that way, Gordon. I'm sorry. Oh, yep, that my boot's stuck in it. That's what is that? Oh dear.
And then the shuttle kind of connects to the bantha, and you guys head to Adelon. Let's go ahead. What I'd like to do is if we can get through the get paid roll and then do epilogues for everybody. So Ein, you head down. I assume Gorty's going to go with you since he's so helpful with the thing. Gordy, you pass by as you're headed out with Ein. You guys have landed. You're now trying to deliver or talk. Vaso steps into the shuttle and he daintily picks up the bit of lingerie and says, "Sorry, I didn't need to leave my underwear there," and stuffs it into a pocket. And Ein, you go and meet up with your corporate contact from Corazon Industries Corporation, Jinsi Vukto, and Jinsi's. Yes. I'm very glad to see you. Welcome back, Ein, Tina, and Gorty the Hut, or should I say, Barto, the dreaded pirate of the Sixth Reach.
But who? I never heard of a Barto.
Neither have
Who's
I. But actually, I have. So, Hein, how did things go? And then this is where you will get paid. So go ahead and roll our get paid.
Okay. Oh, it's a 10 plus. Yeah.
You roll plus gut.
Yes. So that's like a +2. So that's like a 12.
Choose 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I always get so nervous at this move. All right. I'm gonna choose 2. We get paid in full. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have him try to screw me. So.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Everyone will hear about the job.
Yeah.
Word gets around. Cool. You guys got a huge payoff from that. If you remember, you negotiated for 32, and he paid for the trip all the way there. So the leftover is around 20-ish. The Jawa parts, I won't worry so much about that. You basically make 4 or 5 from that one, and you're supposed to get paid by RC for delivering you to Hatterlawn. But I'll leave that for Steven to describe in epilogues if he so wishes. So he's very happy with the end results of Corazon Industries. It turns out that the swap of the transponder codes and calling the heat on them, they are cooling their heels. Lord Cor Falcon and his daughter Cinna Falcon are cooling their heels in a New Republic holding cell on the planet, so they are going to have to pay up their debts to Corazon before they can leave. Unfortunately, that ship was heavily damaged, so that is a thing. But he, of course, has no knowledge of this heavily cloaked ship that came after them. He doesn't know what you're talking about. He knew about the Barto thing, but he doesn't know about that. Culpable deniability. So you guys get paid. And this is where we'll move to some quick epilogues. I'm sorry we're at time. I hope everybody can stick around to at least do the epilogue before we wrap this up. Who'd like to go first with their epilogue?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I actually rolled the get paid move to see what that looks like with Darcy, right?
Sweet!
And I rolled a 7, which means we get paid in full because we owe them, right? But that means that everyone hears about it, and I get screwed, right?
Nice. That seems appropriate for your relationship with her.
I think so. So I think what ends up happening here is we see, this. I think we see this, negotiations start to go down between Celis and RC, and then it gets a little bit more personal. And I think Celis's arm is kind of in a sling, and she's, a little bit, a little bit more vulnerable. And then we see kind of a fade to black, and we see basically we see them head towards the bedroom, and then there's a fade to black. And then the light kind of comes up the next morning, and Arcee's gone. Right? That side of the bed is empty. And it's like, oh.
That seems wholly appropriate for the relationship that you guys have defined.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the idea of like, oh no, I just wanted to say it because we've never seen Celis. So I kind of like the idea, like we just see from behind, like you slowly putting back the helmet on.
And getting direct.
Oh, what color is Celis's hair? I need to know at least that.
I think it's just black, long black hair that goes back up into the helmet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
I'll go next if that's all right. This is sometime later. Daboul and Ronil are walking hand in hand along a colony ship where the Smoky Bantha and the Claw have happened to dock near the same time. And Daboul has just successfully sold off a little bit of his store of scrap, not the power thing that we got at the end there, but he's had a supply of scrap. And he says, I appreciate you taking the time to do this stroll with me. I have a little bit of shopping I need to tend to. I owe a friend a favor. And Daboul buys a big hat off of a market stall. And he says, can you put a black feather in that? I think that will go quite nice. And so he exchanges some scrap or some credit for a nice floppy pirate hat for Gordy. And Daboul speaks with Ronil. He says, I'm not sure we can make these engagements as regular as I do wish they were. My ship and crew are perhaps in some hot water with the Republic, you understand?
Nice.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
It'll end there.
Nice. And like a thing that in an old game of Star Wars, a friend who is playing a Ithorian kind of defined is that there are these herd ships that the Ithorians have, and they have actual like the botanical gardens that kind of run throughout the ship, so it's almost bioorganic. So we get like a cool bit of green going on as you guys are walking together on that ship. And that I love that picture in my head. Sweet, I like it. Daboul and Ronil. Someday they'll retire together happily at the nice space station with the white picket fence. That's what they all want. Okay, so who else wants to do an epilogue?
So when Daboul comes back to the Smoky Bantha to give this hat to Gorty, I'll notice that the shuttle is gone. And there's like this little like holographic picture thing of them all like posing together as a group during the ball, right? It's a very sweet moment. And there's like a little note that says, like, such great times, I'll never forget them. See you out there, Gorty the Hutt. And he is going to get in touch with the New Republic and try to clear the name of the the crew of the Smoky Bantha after some criminal dealings, and maybe offering to give himself up in exchange for immunity.
Wow. Who saw that coming? I certainly didn't. Nice. I don't even want to know how that turns out. I love just that he did the act. That's so cool. What about Tina?
I think what we see is so there's Lifty, the droid, and Tina is on top of the shoulder and helping Nima with some repairs, or we're working on a lot of stuff for the ship. And then all of a sudden Nima just says, so I've been thinking about proposing to Bosso. And I just like falls off of the droid. Like, and is trying to get their bearings when all of a sudden DeBoll comes out with holding the hat, and like Gordy left, and I think like somehow DeBoll got some of the information about what Gordy was planning to do. And I think it's just going to end in the note of Ayn going like, what? We have to save him from himself, and then like rushes into the ship.
That's nice. I like it a lot. Good. Any last bits? Are we good? Does that tie everything up with a bow, or a rusty bow? Awesome.
At that point, wouldn't we all just start epiloguing each other's epilogues, and then we just
I
play
know,
for
right?
another 3
Like-
hours?
All of a sudden, it becomes a belonging outside belonging game. That was for Gina. Sweet. Thank you all so much for giving Rust Hawks a chance. These 3 sessions were precious to me. Some of my favorite games of the year, and it's a lot. I really enjoyed this. So we will go ahead and bring this to a close. I'll stop the stream here. Thank you all.